Today, we're diving into something fascinating, decoding a lost world of meaning that's hidden right inside our own minds. We're talking about the world of ancient dreams.
I mean, it's a feeling we've all had, right? You wake up and you're just like, what was that all about? For us, it's usually just a fleeting curiosity. But for the ancient world, that question was vital. The answers were believed to hold the key to everything: power, fortune, and faith.
And for centuries, texts just like this one weren't just books, no way. They were seen as these intricate systems for interpreting messages, maybe from a higher plane, a kind of guide to the hidden language of the night.
So, let's journey through this ancient system together. We'll start with what dreams even meant back then look at symbols of power and just everyday life. We'll learn to spot good omens and bad omens, uncover the secret rules of the interpreter, and finally, ask why any of this still matters today.
All right, so the first thing you have to wrap your head around is this. In their worldview, dreams were never just random psychological noise. Not at all. They were a structured, symbolic language. Every single image, every event was like a piece of a puzzle just waiting to be solved.
And, nowhere was this language more important than in the realm of power and social status. I mean, leaders, kings, anyone with ambition, they paid very close attention to their dreams, constantly looking for signs of their rise or their ruin.
Let's take one of the most powerful symbols of all, the sun. It was almost always a direct metaphor for the highest authority in the land, the king or the ruler.
So get this, if you dreamed of the sun rising inside your own home, that was interpreted as a sign you were about to receive favor, status, or even power directly from the ruler. It was a vision of incredible fortune. But here's the thing, it wasn't a simple one-to-one code. Context changed everything. A clear, bright sun, that was a positive omen for the entire kingdom. But an eclipsed or a falling sun, whoa, that was a terrifying vision, one that foretold disaster at the highest level.
And this whole system wasn't just about big, grand symbols like the sun. It was so comprehensive that it found deep meaning in the most common, everyday objects imaginable.
In this world, nothing was meaningless. The water you drank, the fire in your hearth, even the clothes on your back, the second they appeared in a dream, boom, they were transformed into symbols carrying some really powerful messages.
And this really highlights the complexity. Take water, for instance. Clear, fresh water could mean knowledge or life, but murky, raging water could mean chaos. New clothes? That could be a sign of a renewed reputation, but old, tattered clothes were a warning of sickness or loss. You see, the narrative of the dream was everything.
This brings us to the core function of all this dream interpretation, prediction. At its heart, this was all about sorting through the night's visions to understand what fortune, or misfortune, was just around the corner.
And what's wild is that some of these are so universal they've survived to this day. Dreaming of your teeth falling out was, and for many people still is, seen as a terrible omen, often signifying a loss or death in the family. On the flip side, dreaming of flying upward or reading from a sacred text like the Quran was one of the most blessed visions a person could have. Okay, so we have the symbols, the omens, the system, but the real art, the real secret, that lay with the interpreter. This was not just a matter of looking up a symbol in a book.
Oh, absolutely not. And this is where it gets truly fascinating. A good interpreter was part psychologist, part detective, and part spiritual guide. Their method was way more sophisticated than any simple dictionary.
The crucial principle was what they called contextual interpretation. Let me give you an example. Imagine 3 different people all dream of a vast ocean. For a merchant, it could mean wealth from trade. For a scholar, it might symbolize deep knowledge. And for a sinner, it could represent being lost in temptation. The symbol was the same, but the meaning was unlocked by the dreamer's life.
A master interpreter followed a clear process. First, they'd evaluate the dreamer's character, their job, their life circumstances. Then, they would identify the central symbol and analyze the dream's story around it. They'd connect it to cultural stories and archetypes, and only then would they deliver a tailored, specific meaning. It was a true intellectual craft.
Which brings us to our final question. This all seems like ancient history, right? Maybe even just superstition. So why should we care about this lost world of dream interpretation?
Because studying this system offers so much more than just curious trivia. It's a unique window into the historical mind. It's like a map of what an entire society valued, faith, status, and what it feared, chaos, divine punishment. It's a testament to the universal human need to find meaning in the mysterious.
So, when you look at these pages,
Don't just see a list of symbols. See a detailed map of a collective consciousness. It's a guide to the hopes and anxieties of a world that believed the night had something vital to tell them.
And that leaves us with a final thought. In our modern world of data and neuroscience, we've gained so much in understanding the mechanics of the brain. But I wonder, in that process, have we lost the ancient art of truly listening to our dreams?